PS2 as well, because there are so many unanswered questions, there are so many confusions after watching the PS1, so we are really waiting for this. Now we'll start the question and answer round with the press media. Okay, ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಶುರುವಾಗಲಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Just want to say a big hi and ரொம்ப thanks. போன தடவை கிடைச்ச அந்த வரவேற்புக்கு. And Ravi, you want to say something?
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. So happy to see all of you. Thanks for coming.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಫೋನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. I got it from them. Thank you so much for coming, supporting us all through PS1, and I hope you do the same for PS2. It's so good to see all of you all here. Thank you.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
ನಟರಾಗಿ ಚಿತ್ರರಂಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಅನ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟರ್, ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಎರಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್?
I think pan-Indian is just a term we are giving cinema. I think cinema doesn't have boundaries, cinema doesn't have language. You can watch Spanish films, you can watch Bengali films, you can watch Tamil, you can watch Kannada, you can watch Gujarati. Because of the COVID, which unfortunately did whatever it did to the world, it helped cinema in a big way. Because OTT came in and it helped us in finance. At the same time, the reach of cinema is like rampant now. Any language you can watch a film just like that. Just go on the net and just surf and you can watch it. And I think that is what cinema is. So there's no boundaries. So I think this pan-India is like, I think you start, there is also this thing that you may want to reach out a wider audience with a particular genre. But then I feel any good cinema in any language, if it has the emotion and if it has the story and the substance, I think it will do well and it will be received. And I think now people have started appreciating films. See, Malayalam film industry is something which is very small, but something like Minnal Murli was a rage on Netflix. It became like the number one in that period. So it reached, across the country. And likewise, our films, think about RRR. We've actually got an Oscar. It's like that. We are actually going beyond India now. So I think cinema is like love. It's universal. And it will always be there.
Karthi sir. Sir, here. My question is to you. In Ponniyin Selvan, the character of viewers only connected everybody.
That row is the only questioning answering row. Only that row.
This question later I'll transfer, sir. The only character who connects with all the characters in the movie. So how did you manage, sir? From beginning to end, and in part 2 also, we have seen some pictures on the trailer.
So I think I've stayed on the set the maximum. Along with the director, cameraman and the camera, I think I'm the one who's traveled along throughout the film.
And the horses.
Horse, of course. I really loved playing this role, and I could relate a lot with Bangalore because he can connect with anyone very easily. And he's got a sense of humor. And he's somebody who will get into a trouble and then think about how to come out of it. He doesn't think before getting into it. So he's that kind of a person who's all life, he wants food, he likes girls, he likes to travel, he has big dreams. So all that was very easy to connect. But the difficult part was meeting the girls, all the women, because each time there's a very different equation, the way he relates to each woman in the film. And that I think Manisha really helped. I think my understanding of that scene would completely change once I go and start shooting with Manisha. So for example, there was a scene where I meet Nandini, Aishwarya Rai in the first film. There's a dialogue where I say it with a smile. Manisha said, "Don't smile." I said, "Sir, why, sir?" He said, "No, I want Nandini to think that you're intelligent. So I want you to suppress your feeling and say that line like, I know what you're thinking, so don't worry, I will not do that mistake." That one thing completely changed the graph of my character. So he was always with me, helping me out. Like even when I'm meeting Kundavai, he would make sure that, he's himself a prince. Vandiyathevan is a prince, but he doesn't have a kingdom. So he cannot let himself down. He will always hold himself high, even though she's the greatest empire's princess. So those are small understandings which Mani sir gave me, which changed my performance. So I think I had Mani sir's help throughout. And of course, action, I always enjoy doing action. And when Ravi is there, we enjoyed even more because I'll get rest when he's fighting. Then he'll take rest when I'm fighting. And when I'm acting with Vikram sir, there is so much I could admire when he's doing the Crown Prince. Now we've seen Vikram sir act, we've seen how he will transform on screen, but I'm getting to see him on person, and the way Mani sir established their friendship in just one shot was also beautiful. We never get to see them being friends, but in just one shot we know they are very good friends. I think throughout I would say really Mani sir helped me out in this film.
How do you keep all the promises, sir?
All the?
How do you keep all the promises?
His heart is big.
ಸರ್ ರವಿಕುಮಾರ್ ಇ ಟಿ ವಿ ನ್ಯೂಸಿಂದ ವಿಕ್ರಮ್ ಸರ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಈ ಅಂದರೆ ಪೊನ್ನಿಯಿನ್ ಸೆಲ್ವನ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ 1 3 ಗಂಟೆ ಇತ್ತು. ಈ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ 2 3 ಗಂಟೆ 50 ನಿಮಿಷ ಅಂದರೆ ಬರೋಬ್ಬರಿ 4 ಗಂಟೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಥರ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸು ಹೇಗೆ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ ಸಿನಿಮಾನ?
The part 1 movie is around 3 hours. So part 2 will be around 4 hours.
10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಕಡಿಮೆ 3 ಗಂಟೆ 50 ನಿಮಿಷ ಇದೆ.
3 hours 50 minutes. The duration of the movie will be 3 hours 50 minutes.
2 hours 50.
It's 2 hours 50 minutes.
2 hours 45. 2 hours
2 hours 50 minutes.
I think.
ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ 1 2 hours 50 minutes ಇದ್ದಿತ್ತು.
Yeah, even the part 2 is. He's saying that part 1 was around 2 minutes 2 hours 50 minutes. Even the part 2 is around 3 hours 50 minutes. He's asking. No, it's around 2 hours 50 minutes.
So what does he want to do with it?
How the audience will stay till.
No, like how they saw the first part. This is a shorter version than the first part. And
If the movie is good, they'll watch
He
it.
thought it's
They'll
around
definitely watch it.
4 hours. He thought.
no, not 4 hours. The books are many books, but the movie is only 2 hours.
ಹಾಯ್ ಸರ್, ಅವಿನಾಶ್ ಅಂತ. ಜಯಂ ರವಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಸರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ
The question row.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್, ಈ ಮಲ್ಟಿಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಮಾಡೋದು ಒಬ್ಬ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಮಲ್ಟಿಸ್ಟಾರ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು?
மல்டிஸ்டார் நடிக்கிறதுல ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட்ஸ் என்ன இருக்குன்னு தேங்க்யூ சார். புரியும், பேச தான் வராது. ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட் இல்லை சார், எதுவும் இல்லை சார்.
Yes, point இல்லையா?
ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட்லாம் இல்லை.
You had such a good time with us now. ஜாலியாக இருக்கல. கொஞ்ச நேரம் முன்னாடி இன்ஃப்ளூயன்சர்ஸ் மீட்ல அழுதார், ஏன்னா எங்களை விட்டு பிரிய முடியலன்னு அழுதார். He cried. And now he's saying there's no plus point.
அண்ணா,
It's okay.
அண்ணா லிசன்.
Your weakness is our plus point.
பஞ்சு மறந்துட்டேன். ஏதோ ஒரு ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட் இல்லை சார், எல்லாமே ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட் தான் சார். நான் ஒரு ப்ளஸ் பாயிண்ட் இல்லை. ஏன்னா நான் கார்த்தி சொன்ன மாதிரி நான் நினச்ச மாதிரி என்னென்னா நான் பார்த்துருப்போம் இல்லையா, அவரோட பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் பார்த்துருப்போம். நேரில் பார்க்கும்போது unconsciously you will get to learn something, and better than that, consciously you get to unlearn something. That is the best part of a multi-starrer, I think. You know, now you will consciously you will leave your எப்படி சொல்கிறது, ஒரு பேட் ஹேபிட்ஸ் விடுற மாதிரி பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸில் ஏதாவது நமக்கு ஒரு தப்பு நமக்கே இருக்கிறது தெரிய வரும். அப்போ அது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக இட் வில் கோ ஆஃப், இட் வில் ஃபேட் ஆஃப். And to interact with good minds, good actors is a gift. You will never get it otherwise. Only in parties or அந்த மாதிரி தான் பேச வரும். அப்போ கூட we will speak like ஏதோ ஒரு சம்மந்தம் இல்லாத ஒரு டாபிக் we will talk. It doesn't matter what we spoke. We just want to spend time together. But when you act, you are so put together in one space, one creative space where you can exchange everything. That will happen only on a shooting spot. And for that particular movie, for that particular scene, it's even greater. So the knowledge, transference of knowledge is amazing. And the bond that is created through that process is unforgettable.
ವಿಕ್ರಮ್ ಸರ್, ಲೋಕೇಶ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಸರ್.
ಹಾಯ್
ಸರ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಮಣಿ ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ರಾವಣನ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಈಗ PS2 PS1 PS2 ಆಗಲಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಾತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಜಂಜಾಟ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲೇ. ಸೊ PS1 ರಜನಿ ಸರ್ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಮಣಿ ಸರ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾಗಳಿನ ನಾಯಕನಿಗೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕಷ್ಟ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲಿ. ಮತ್ತು ನೀವು ಅಂತ ಬಂದಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿನಿಮಾ ಬಂದಾಗ.
Definitely, because எங்களுக்குள்ள ஒரு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் இருக்குது. போத் ஆஃப் அஸ் லைக் அவர் வந்து எப்பவுமே மணிஷ் இஸ் ஒன் ஆஃப் தோஸ் ரேர் டைரக்டர்ஸ் வந்து நடிச்சு காட்ட மாட்டார். ஹி வில் ஜஸ்ட் கம் அண்ட் ஹி வில் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் லைக் ஹவ் கார்த்தி செட். ஸோ த வே ஹி சேஸ் இட் இமீடியட்லி வில் ஸ்ட்ரைக் அ கார்ட் சம்வேர் and you start doing something else. So he and I don't know, I think one of the best understandings for me with a director. So once Ravanan, it's Ravanan, the thing is 10 characters. So each character, each time we do a scene, he'll say இந்த கேரக்டர் மாதிரி பண்ணி பாருங்க, இப்போ இவன் வந்து ரொம்ப வீக்காக பண்ணி பாருங்க, இவன் வந்து ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ராங், இவன் வந்து ரொம்ப கோமா. ஸோ ஒவ்வொரு தடவை we'll try a different character. So I practiced all that with him and we had an understanding. Like so even here sometimes he'll come say, hey, what you know? I said, yeah, you said to do this. No, like we'll be sometimes talking like, you asked me to do this. No, yes sir, but you didn't explain properly. So he said, hey, I explained, you do it. And I thought so it's very nice when you talk to him, and he's a very, suddenly he'll be short tempered suddenly, but he's a genius. So I just love that little thing, that banter we have and working with him, and I think he brings out the best in any actor, and it's every actor's dream in the South or in India to work with him sometime. Just an example, somebody asked whether multi-starers or whether Trisha was okay or Ravi was okay. You know, there are 14, almost every actor in the movie is a hero or a heroine or has been. Right from Babu Anthony, Jairam, Parthiban sir, everybody has been a hero. Rahman, everybody, Ponguli, everybody is a heroine. They're working in films as heroines, but they come why? In a movie with so many characters, mainly of course Kalki, and you want to be a part of this project. And like Ravi said, we get inspired by the other actors, but at the same time, I think we all felt, none of us felt at this time that, okay, I want this film to be a blockbuster for me. It's like we felt we are part of something really large, a larger picture. And again, I'll come to Kantara. Like, see, Rishabh really touched me in that. I feel in that movie, every actor would have felt every role, I want to do it. Likewise, all of us. And he calls us again, we'll again come and do this. That is what he did for us.
Yes, thank you, sir. ಕಾರ್ತಿಕ್ ಸರ್, ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ LCUನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಲೋಕೇಶ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾಟಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸ್, ಈಗ MCU ಆಗಿದೆ ಮಣಿರತ್ನಂ ಸಿನಿಮಾಟಿಕ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸ್. ಆ ಥರ ಕನಸಿದೆಯಾ ಸರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ? ಆಸ್ ಅ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ.
I know Mani sir is thinking of something in that zone, but I cannot tell you that.
Sorry, அங்கே லேடிஸ் 2 பேர் they want to ask something.
லோகேஷ்ட கேட்டுட்டு அதுக்கு ஒரு
நிமிஷம்.
My question is to Trisha ma'am. Since we have seen a lot of princess characters in various South Indian movies, what I feel is Kundavai stands little different because of her hairstyle, the accessories she uses, and even in Karnataka, a lot of females got a photo shoot done with the same look, and it was trending and viral as well. So my question is, how did you personally enjoy, and did you do any research as such about the look of Kundavai? So what do you have to say on this?
I didn't have to do any research because day one when I walked into Mani sir's office, there was a whole load of researching that was already taking place and had been done. And Eka and her team, I mean, I have to credit them for the look, for working hard. And we worked for 6 months prior to filming. And so we had enough of time to experiment. I mean, the bun,
yes,
I think took about 3 months to, fix, because we didn't know how to do it. And
not every day, not every day, just the idea, right?
Just the idea, yeah. Once we fixed it, it was fine. No. But it took 3 months to get that. We tried a small bun, it wouldn't sit, and then medium, and then large.
Okay.
And we've used different sizes. Like for a coronation scene, Sir wanted a little more of a queen look, a princess look. And for like the romantic scenes, he wanted a shorter bun. So it was very challenging. And like you said, I mean, so many people have played princesses, but this is so special to me because I loved playing dress up. It was fun, and it touched me beyond anything when I saw so many people, starting from like children to adults, posting reels to me, tagging me. I mean, I'm just wondering. I was like cribbing here and there because we were shooting. I'm like, these people just did it just because they loved the role and they wanted to like show it to me. So it's definitely one of my top 5 most favorite characters I've played.
Okay, thank you.
Top 5?
Thank you.
Thank you. I have to say one of my top 5. No, yeah.
So many.
Yeah, hi. This is actually Jemima here, and this is for all of you. My question is that these are all literary characters, and what was your point of reference? I mean, like you were saying that before you walked in, every research was done. But in terms of approaching the character, for instance, did you read anything else other than Kalki? I mean, did Kalki's Ponniyin Selvan, or did you read Ponniyin Selvan at that point or before? All of you actually. At what point did you want, like you were saying that you wanted to play Karigalan Vikram. So at what point did you...
For me, it's like, from when I was young, I've heard stories. I hadn't read it then. I was always fascinated with Karigalan. I was under the impression that he burnt his leg. Kari is coal and Kal is leg. So as a child, I used to think he burnt his leg and that's why they call him Karigalan. So he's a tough guy. So I started thinking I wanted to be him. So later I got to know that's not the story. And, my mother used to narrate the story to me. And then later when I was doing this, when Manisa approached me, all of us, I think, we all read the book. And once you read the book, you kind of understand. It's like you envision something, like anyone. I mean, all of you all will have, like, let's say there are about 100 people here. If you read the story, you'll have 100 different versions of Aditya Karigalan. You understand? So like that, I had a version. Manisa had a vision. And always you judge the director. His decision is final. So he had this vision, and mine kind of was in sync with that. And we worked towards that. And the difficult part was the language we speak. We didn't want to speak archaic Tamil, which no one understood. At the same time, we can't speak normal Tamil. So we spoke something midway, but the idea is it was still Sen Tamil. It's not the Tamil we speak. It is proper Chase Tamil. But the idea was to speak it like you would say, hi, just get me that stuff, or keep it here. What are you doing? I'll meet you later. That was the way we said. It's not, hey, what are you doing? Sit down. So that was the problem I felt. I think most of the actors must have felt. Trying to be normal with that language, wearing that outfit. It's very difficult actually being a prince or a princess, wearing armor or wearing jewelry, doing your hair, and then going and performing. There is a different body language. Like there's this particular scene where I had to walk and come. I thought I did a great job. Manisa said, one more. And they said, can I see the monitor? I normally don't see the monitor. I saw it and I was like walking like some guy out of college. Like it was not princely at all. Then I realized, okay, I have to change my walk. So there is something then, and the director was always there to guide us through that. And I think that's from my point of view.
Did you guys read anything else other than that to sort of like, get into the region and the history of the time?
Yes, sure. Of course, you had to read the book multiple times.
Not just anything else.
I'm answering your question. So, for me, the difficulty was it's a 3,000-page book which is compressed into a 300-page script. So, for example, Vandiyathevan meets Kundavai multiple times before they can speak to each other. But whereas in the movie, I'm meeting her only once. But all that has been written so far in the book has to be transpired in that one meeting. So unless you read the book and take in all that Vandiyathevan carries all through, you cannot represent the right Vandiyathevan. So I had to go back to the book and not just stick to the script. I had to go back and read the scene from the book once and again on the script and then come to the scene. So Manisa, the first thing, if I raise my voice, he would say, did you read the book or the script? He would say. He said, stop reading the book. You have to stick to the script. So then since my character is the only person who's traveling through the kingdom and is meeting everybody else, I somehow felt I had to understand a common man's point of view in 10th century. There are no accounts of common lives anywhere in the history. So I had to read travelogues. I had to read Silappatikaram where there are accounts of common man's lives. For example, there is one reference where Kovalan and Kannagi, if you read the book, Kovalan and Kannagi, they go from Pumbahar to Madurai in search of a livelihood. And they're crossing a river. Just before they cross the river, there is an account, because it's written in 4th century, there is an account where they say people stand and pray to the river before they cross it. Because river was the life source for everybody. And that one thing stuck to my mind, and when we were shooting the song, I told this to Mani sir and he made me do that. So there were a lot of references from history and poetry also to prepare for this character. That's my effort. I don't know how successful I was in bringing it on screen, but I did read through a lot of it.
Hi sir. Sir, this is Madan from TV9 Digital. I would like to know that what were the reactions you received when PS1 released from the younger generation audience, because they usually think that history is boring when we're studying, you know. So for me, this film, these kind of films matters because they pass the information to the next generation. So on this aspect, what kind of reactions you received?
I think the craziest crowd was the younger generation in the theatre, and the very old people who've never been to theatres for almost 20 years or 30 years. They came in wheelchairs or they were carried into the theatres. They were the ones. And you see if you just check on YouTube, see any of the reviews or reactions, it's all the younger generation who's saying, superb, we love this, this is the kind of thing, history and blah, blah. I don't think they'll go to a history class. But they definitely went to the theatre, and Manisha made sure that with the popcorn and the Coke, they also had a very good film to watch. And they learned their history.
And in fact, there's so many tours organized in Tamil Nadu where there's an entire journey from Chennai to all the way to where only they will travel.
Bangalore
There's so many bikers
from
who
Bangalore
came to just explore that path to see where this story happened. Now, people have been exploring it. There are so many historical tours happening now, and people are very, very interested to know more about the history. See, this film is only a fiction based on history. But this has created so much interest around the history of the entire India, I would say. People have started taking more interest in history. Because so much of history we don't know. We don't read about it, but there is fascinating information there.
Hey, Vikram sir.
Yes.
Sir, so few Kannada actors also associate with this movie, like Prakash Rai, Kishore and Aishwarya Rai. Can you throw a few words on them?
Chola. He's a good friend of all of us. He's a great actor to work with always, and I think his character, I love the scenes with him and Trisha. I think he's already done Gilly with you as, that he was a pair. There's another one where he's a father, no? No, but as a father, but in this, I felt the relationship between you and him was very different because he's ailing, he's not well, and she is someone who's like a son in their relationship. Regarding Kishore, I think is one of those very talented actors who's been, I like, not just him as an actor, he's very intense, but he's also someone who's into green earth and into farming and agriculture, and he's someone I've not had any scenes with him as such, but when I did meet him, I told him I'm very interested in what you're doing, and I think he's a very, very intense actor and he's good. Aishwarya Rai, I think all of you all know, right? And she's great to work with, and I think you'll love her in this film. You'll love her or you'll hate her, but you can't ignore her.
Hey, Vikram and other groups, right? First of all, thank you so much for accepting these roles, right? You are new heroes of old memories and identity and representative of the old memories. So first of all, thanks for myself and Sugan to accepting these roles, right? And then the next question is, since when you're traveling long to this PS1 and PS2, right? And I know Vikram, but you are charming boys, right? So this is a history film, right? So always little serious and also little fun, right? So since you have to change your scope and everything, right? So what you feel, two things is you feel very difficult to represent the character in Ponniyin Selvan. What you learn, two things as an actor and giving advice to others who accept the historic films.
It's very difficult to act as a good person, sir. It was very difficult, sir. Yeah, because for a bad guy, you have different emotions. But a good guy has to suppress all the emotions. Right. So for me, it was very difficult to suppress all the emotions, actually. So when I look at somebody, I shouldn't have hate. The look has to be suppressed enough that I don't hate you. I welcome you, kind of a look. I never know how I came up with the look. I think that I've done my job properly. From that basis, I'm speaking now. So to be pleasant is very difficult. To be that good person, Mani sir he just injected a lot of emotions in me about the great Raja Chola. So, and I didn't want to sorry to say, but I didn't want to copy anybody in this particular character, because the greatest Shivaji Ganeshan sir has done as Rajaraja Chola. I didn't watch that before the shoot, because if I watch that, I will exactly act like him. I know there is no way that I will be different than him, or I can't even match up to him in 10%. What I did was, I believed in myself, I believed in the script, I believed Mani sir, I believed Kalki, and I believed God that this will be done properly in my own way, and I tried doing it. And that's the belief that I still have, that, find your own way, and that is taking me forward. I think that helped me move all these days. Thank you.
So for me, I would say historical films, you need extreme strength. You have to be extremely fit to do a period film to begin with, to carry the armor, to be able to ride the horse, to do all the action, and the speed which Mani sir shoots. What you shoot in 10 days will be shot in 4 days here. So imagine you should be like an athlete to be able to do it. So it's a lot about physical fitness. But apart from that, I think my role was something which so many people wanted to do it. So there is no second thought about it. There's only the fear of doing it right and making sure it comes out well. And one more thing is, when you do a classic something like this, which is written 70 years back, you will be remembered forever. This is a kind of a film where if you're just part of this film, you'll be remembered forever. You become a part of the legacy here. So I think that way we're all blessed that, our identities are very different now. There's so many people who call me VT, they call me AK and PS. So our identities change when you do a big classic film, something like this. So that way we're all blessed, and it's definitely a sheer joy and learning. I would say this film put to test all that I've learned all these years. It definitely tested me as an actor. Thank you.
Trisha ma'am, here.
Hi.
Day by day you are looking so young and so beautiful. This question applicable to both Vikram sir also and you. So is there any tips for girls and for boys from Vikram sir?
Girls, you are born beautiful. Boys, bathe in donkey's milk every day. If you can find a donkey, it'll help. And of course, makeup helps, and computer graphics. I'm sorry, I'll leave it answering to you.
I think
Sweetest thing to say.
Jeans, like good jeans.
Good jeans, appa.
And tata party. And I think just be happy, do what you want, don't think too much about what people think, say. It really helps. A lot of how you look is everything that's happening within you internally, and I have come to realize that over the last 5 years. So just stay happy and positive. It's hard, I know, don't take in too much stress, and I don't know.
As you said it, you started looking even more beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Last one question.
Sir, Vikram sir.
Request, last one question.
Lokesh sir.
Sir, Lokesh. Lokesh, 4 questions you asked. Anybody else wants to ask?
Please, yes.
Lokesh, you finish.
Last one question.
Lokesh, ask. No, Lokesh, ask. Chipavam.
Please pass the mic.
2 more questions?
Sorry, Lokesh, we'll talk to you later.
No, Lokesh, we ask after the thing, okay? Anybody else?
Hello. My question is to Vikram sir.
Yes.
Compared to Bahubali, I don't know whether it is right or wrong. I don't know. This question is actually, in particular, we look into the story. It is a fictional story. Actually, Bahubali and Triple R, it is a fictional story, and mostly the Rajamouli is mostly worked on the character. Just we look into the character, the Mahishmati, and then Bahubali and Katappa. These are all the characters. It's affect to your bones, to your hair, and it's the thrilling feel and goosebumps also. So, but it is the real story, and do you believe in that this is a negative effect to the story because the character are just a copy paste because of this is the real story? So that's why I am questioning. It is a negative effect to audience.
That is, you can create anything you want. Realistic. No, but ours is also fictional. It's based. The original characters are from this film, but they use it in Bangalore. Oh yes, you're saying they used our characters in Bahubali?
Yeah.
Oh, that we'll talk to Rajmouli and get back to you. I didn't know about that, but I enjoyed Bahubali and I love that film. This is a different film. I think it's how a director wants to present a film. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but I'll just see the larger picture. I think that being the biggest hit of all times in India is because of a reason. He made it that way, that bigness and, the way he did it. And that shocked us and took us out. But Mani sir, what he thought is, he wanted to make it as true to the book as possible. And also he was thinking, because it's to do with a lot of our culture, and he wanted to make it as a reference point. Like when you think of Vande Tevan, you should think of Karthik. This is what he wears. If you think of Arunmoli Varma, you should only think of, how he looks. See, here we could have worn a crown, we could have had armor, could have been in gold, and we could have had 100, 2,000 elephants. But what would have happened in reality then? He will be wearing leather. He's also a prince, but he will have leather. If you notice, he wears one outfit. Poor thing, when the tannila wash pani stiff eye, he became like this. If you notice, he'll keep on doing that. Say, why? He had only one. He's a crown's prince, but he didn't have a crown. He only has a turban. I am also a prince, but I had only one jewelry, because we wanted to stick to realities. That's Mani sir's idea. But I think Bahubali worked for that, and Mani sir's worked for this. And they're two very different films. And I don't think we can compare or say that any of our characters was there in Bahubali. I don't think that makes sense, because I've seen both. It's a very different, with due respects to your... Yes?
Sir, my question is to everyone on the dais. Actually, I want everyone to answer this. So, what are your thoughts about the kind of films that is made in Kannada industry? That is one question. And Trisha ma'am has already done a straight Kannada film with Puneet sir and all three gentlemen on the stage. And what are your thoughts about doing a straight Kannada film?
I would love to. Okay. I was supposed to, in fact, work with Puneet before he passed, and I really regret that. And every time I come here, my first thought is him, because we were so excited about that film. It was called Dvitva. So yes, if something is challenging, because I loved that script, I loved my character in it. So if something is as challenging as that, and like Vikram said, cinema is so global these days. Everything is watched by everybody. I would love to do a straight Kannada film. I'm very, very open to it. And sorry, your first question was...
First question is what are your thoughts about the recent Kannada films that are being made in the recent times?
Hats off, starting from, KGF and then Kantara. I watched all of them. Kantara, in fact, twice. Hats off to you guys. You're making some great cinema, and it's like I said, since it's global, I'm so proud to be part of cinema. It's the right time to be in cinema.
Okay, thank you so much. We are concluding the question answer round. Thank you.
They are yet to answer, actually. So Vikram sir, please.
I think you guys are rocking. The moment I saw KGF, I called Prashant and told him he'd done a fantastic job, and we should work sometime in the future. Likewise, I think Rishabh rocked it. It's very difficult to be an actor and to direct and to concentrate in the shoot. It's very difficult. I've directed some small stories and stuff. It's very difficult to do both. But he did both with such skill. And I thought the energy in that movie was beautiful. And I've also watched it about 2 or 3 times with my family. And I think your industry, KGF was, I think, the eye-opener for all of us, because your industry is pretty small. But they could have thought, this is the budget, let's do this. But it's not like the first part did well, so let's do better this. The first part itself, you decided, let's do something big. That is a vision, and I think that worked. Kantara, on the other hand, was this dark horse that is a good film. You didn't realize how good it's going to go, but every state celebrated. Like I said earlier in Tamil, we loved that film. I loved especially the last 20 minutes, hats off to Rishabh and the team. It was beautiful. We love your films, and I think all of us would love to work in your films. I'm open to that. All of us are open. And like Trisha says, there's no language. It's the same.
I think it's a new way. They're rocking everywhere. I think I would say start from Lucia, U-turn, and then Garuda Gamna. I think all these films have been fabulous. They are completely redefining Kannada cinema or the opinion about Kannada cinema. The performances are fantastic. The visual, like even Vikrant Rana, the visuals were so good. You wonder where were these people so far? Now suddenly everybody is doing fantastic work, and one after the other they're coming up with, it's just not one film and it went away. Kannada cinema is bringing with great films one after the other. I met Rishabh 2 days back. He said the part 2 is already, the prequel is already started. So I think they're doing a great job, and we're very proud. We're all very proud of that.
Can I also add?
Yeah, please, sir, please.
No, I think KGF, I'll answer it very short. What I witnessed, what I noticed, I would say KGF broke the language barrier in India. Kantara broke the religious barrier. I thought belief is the religion. I really thought. What I noticed. And to add on to that, not only Kannada movie, RRR is going global now, So everything is being broken. There is one entity which I can see, and it is beautiful. And India is heading to that beautiful space where every one of us is going to be noticed globally, and Kannada cinema has contributed too much to that. Hats off to that, and I would like to act in a Kannada movie.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sorry to add on to that. The love that you shared for PS1, the press and media, you came to Chennai, you gave us so much love and supported us. And for PS2, I heard you guys arrived there and there was some mishap. As a team, we would like to say sorry for that. In spite of that, you are here to support us and to show your love. That shows your nature. Hats off to you all. And please keep supporting us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hello. Thank you so much. Yes, please. We are done with the questions, please.
Would like to explore their talents individually, but Ponniyin Selvan kind of movie, it's a multi-starrer and huge star cast. As an artist, how do you feel to explore your pluses and minuses, ma'am?
That's actually a really good question. Had it not been for Mr. Ratnam, I would have given it a second thought for sure. But I'm very open to multi-starrers. I feel in today's time and age, it's something an actor should be open to. So it's amazing. I want to actually hats off to 3 of these superstars sitting here, because I feel every hero would think twice before accepting a multi-starrer. And this was one such film where from day one, and I'm talking about much before we even started filming, Mani sir made us all feel so secure in our roles. It also helped that we have books, so each of us knew what we were doing. And even all through filming, I don't think there was any difference where any of us actually thought who has a better role or would his or hers be more impactful. We were all so happy with the roles which we were doing, at the same time inspired and appreciated what everybody else also played. Only Mani sir can do this. And I'm sure the rest of the cast would agree with me on that.
Sir, namaste. Karthik from Praja TV.
ಮೊದಲನೆಯದಾಗಿ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಪೊನ್ನಿಯಿನ್ ಸೆಲ್ವನ್ ಸಿನಿಮಾದ ಅರುಣ್ಮೌಳಿ ವರ್ಮನ್ ಪೊನ್ನಿಯಿನ್ ಸೆಲ್ವನ್ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ದ ವೆರಿ ಡ್ಯಾಶಿಂಗ್ ಜಯಂ ರವಿ ಸರ್ in front of the stage, please have your seat. Thank you so much.
Yes. Hello, this is Harshavardhan from Vijayawani newspaper. I just wanted to know that, after PS1 released, did Mani Ratnam sir made any changes for PS2?
No, the thing is, it's, I'll just, the beauty about this is he did the first part and the second part at the same time. So we didn't, it's not like KGF where you're doing it again, so you can actually work on your strengths, or you can think, okay, this didn't work, let's bring it down, or Bahubali where you say, let's make this bigger. This was already done because of the COVID mainly, but also I think it was a very intelligent strategy to finish both the parts. So there is no change as such. You'll only find the film nearing completion, and he's not tried to make anything different. He's tried to stick true to the book. And
PS1 was more successful in among the Tamil peoples, compared to other languages. What was the reason according to you?
I think it's very rooted in Tamil history to begin with, but it did very well in South actually, and overseas. There was a lot of excitement around the film, and even in the North Belt also, people have really loved the way the 10th century was shown. So far, we have never seen what it is to live in a 10th century, or how our kings have been. We don't have a visual for that. So all that was very new in the film. It was appreciated after it came in the OTT, and I think PS1 has set a very good platform for PS2. Like it has set all the correct introductions and the expectations for PS2. And in fact, the PS2 trailer says all that you have to expect in the film. There are all the high points in the film, but you don't know how it's going to connect, how these are going to happen. So I think it's PS2's got a very good setup already to become a big film. And I was saying, it was not easy to remember the names. There are so many layers into the film. It's a novel. No, it's not a movie where there is only one arc or two arcs in a film. Every character is going through an arc. There are like 5-6 arcs. So it's not easy to grasp if you have not read the book. But I think now we've set it up. Now they're going to do a complete recap of PS1, which is going to be released all over on the internet even before the movie is released. And in the movie also we have a recap at the beginning. So I think we're well prepared for a very big PS2.
Yeah. And one more, I'd like to add to that. I think now there's no boundaries as such. I think, like, see, for Kantara, it's a film rooted more in Mangalore than even Bangalore, right? I have friends in Mangalore who say, it's our culture, this film has to do well and I'm rooting for it. You won't believe, Kantara did so well in Tamil. Though we didn't understand the culture. It's a culture that Malayalis will find in Kannur, that area, or they will identify, Tellicherry, they will identify with Mangalorean thing, more than even Bangaloreans. So, but it's a thing that all of us loved. So we celebrated Kantara. The thing is, when you have something like this, which is the biggest hit ever in Tamil cinema, ever. So when you compare it to other languages, obviously the other languages won't do as well as that. It is that. Even Hindi did very well for a Tamil film. But you say, but it's not done as well as in Tamil? Obviously not, because it's totally a Tamil film, like Karthi says. It's totally Tamil culture. It's about the characters. Everything is about us, and that's it.
And I would like to add something to that, saying that, it did good in South India, and we believed it will do good in South India, but let us not only see the theatrical run of the movie. Now that North knows what the Chola dynasty is, North will know what kind of kings were there, and it is on OTT platform. It is going to live forever. So they are going to see it. If not in the theater, this life will be shown. It will, yeah.
And they will understand.
They will understand. Eventually they will understand. And that's the effort we put into this to make this film.
My question is to Trisha ma'am.
Hi ma'am. Hi.
ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಧ್ವನಿ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬೆಲ್ ಐಕಾನ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ.